with dojo practice, where we invite some of our friends to tell us some of the tricks, tips, and advice they have in this time where we spend so much time with the kids at home and we're trying to be proactive and work. So thank you, Nick Bennett. Welcome to Dojo Practice.
Hi.
Yes, welcome. And we just want to start with a few questions. So first of all, tell us where you are in the world. How old are your kids? How many do you have? And their names, please.
I'm in London, England, and I only have one child, and her name is May, and she's 5.
Awesome. Thank you. And this is a question that, you just have to answer the first thing that comes to mind when I ask it, okay? So it goes back to you as when you were a child. What was the best memory, or what is the best memory that pops up of you experiencing with your parents?
So I think it's the reverse of our situation at the moment, where I'm actually going into the office with my dad on the weekend. I have 3 brothers, but it was nice to spend some time with him on my own rather than being crowded out by them. And what I used to do is just to have free reign with him of the space that he worked in. And he had a little golf trophy on his desk. And I remember being able to dismantle it and take off the putter and the ball from that and play in the long corridors in his office with him on the weekend. So that was a really nice memory for me.
Nice. Yeah, it is definitely reversed. We are living, although 2 worlds still colliding for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, and so when we spoke, you mentioned that you have tried something this Saturday with May that we feel could be very helpful for other parents. So do you mind just taking us through what was it that you did and just the practice, and then we can add a few more thoughts on the blog, write it out. Yeah, but what's been working for you? What sort of strategies, tips are you bringing in?
So as a child, she's very much into imaginative play and creative play. So I knew that would be a place I'd have to start in terms of keeping her entertained and engaged with the things that she's doing at home. So the idea that I had was to make a film with her, but it wasn't just to make the film, it was to go through the whole process from start to finish of making the film. So the beginning of it, we wrote the plot down and wrote out a story. So sort of a once upon a time this happened, and tried to think about how she would make a beginning, middle and end to her story. And then once the story was done, we drew out all the different scenes. And my brother-in-law sent us some ideas of storyboards that he's had in the past, and because he's a director, but we could easily have much have just looked up online to find other ideas and inspiration of things that she could copy. So she drew for each different scene from the story she'd written. We drew a different image of her in and of different things that she was doing. It was about balls attacking her. And she would then turn into the superhero and save the day and put all the balls back in the bag. So after drawing all the different scenes out, we then went and shot the different scenes just on my iPhone. And then once we'd shot the scenes, we spent the afternoon editing, choosing the music, putting it all together. And so she could watch it back on a TV. And then we could also send it to all her friends and family as well, so she could see the film in action as well. And she chose like different costumes for different areas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we just used iMovie.
And sorry, go on. So you used...
I just used iMovie, the free application that comes with if you have an iPhone or a Mac, that it comes on there. And it was so easy to use. It took like 5 minutes for me to learn. I'd done it maybe once before. I've got no editing skills. It was pretty rough and ready, but it came out really nicely.
That's incredible.
That's
and
amazing.
What would happen if? And you said she acted in the movie, right? So she was a star. What would happen? I'm thinking of some kids, of my friends that might not want to be in the scene or acting. What would you recommend that? What would you have done then if May had said, no, I don't want to act?
Well, I think there was a couple of things, I guess, that I would have changed. Is that if she got a bit shy, I think one is like saying maybe we don't share the video with anybody else and it's just for her benefit, then maybe there's not so much a worry about her being in front of the camera. If she's still worried, then I think I would say that I would be in it with her and maybe sort of show her how I would act and perhaps be a bit silly and make fun of myself within that. And hopefully that encourages her to want to start doing it as well. And then if she really didn't want to join in and do it with me, then perhaps I would do all the acting parts to it, because I think there's still lots of other really great parts that we brought in, because we managed to bring in sort of handwriting practice for her, spelling and phonics that she's doing as well when she's reading back through things. We ordered the scenes, numbered them, so she had to put them in the correct order when she's learning different maths. And
wow.
the different parts to actually drawing and creating a story as well.
That's amazing. I actually want to see the film. I'm so super, super curious and intrigued.
I'll share it with you all. I'm sure everyone can see it. Yeah.
Yes, amazing. And just to close us off, and thank you so much for, being so generous with other parents. I think it's been 2 weeks for UK, right? Being in official isolation or lockdown.
Yep.
Given where you are today, what advice would you give yourself back then? When you heard the news, school is closed, you're working from home, this is it, new reality. What advice would you give yourself now, knowing what you know?
I think two things. One, set a higher bar for the meetings I have to attend for my work. So definitely apologize and count myself out of a few more things. And then I think not go as hard on myself. And I'd give the same advice to my wife, to try and stick to a regimented plan for my daughter. If she doesn't feel like learning one day or doing anything particularly productive, then that's probably okay, because as long as there's some learning happening over the 3 months or however long we're going to be in this for, then that's probably a good outcome. So yeah, go a bit easier on myself, I think.
Yeah, get to know her, right? It's a gift.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, try to enjoy it, I think, maybe as well, if possible.
One question, Nick. I love the initiative. I love making small films, and I'm curious if your daughter is something that she wants to do again, and how often do you think you could do this?
I think she would definitely be interested in doing it again, but I think the thing I'm going to take from doing this activity is actually more the sort of concept of it. So one of the other ideas would be to maybe plan a party, but as part of that, she would make a poster for the party, maybe some invitations, and then she could make up some games for the party, and then actually we could have the party, obviously only with us in our house, but the different things and activities under one umbrella is definitely what keeps her entertained, as part of jumping from one thing to a next and having something to strive and aim for as well.
Brilliant.
Great.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nick. It's super inspiring. I already want to go and create things. I think the theme is just create something and learn by doing.
Yes,
through the
definitely.
process. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.